Hello, this is Sybil Harmony, and we've got some questions here. We're going to look at the Supreme Court, their rulings on taking the military to Portland and Chicago and San Francisco. And will the appellate court reverse that? Let's look at the shutdown again. The East Wing, why he's tearing out the East Wing, and class action suit. What if we all sued this Krankles? What if we all sued him for destroying our country, taking jobs, and health care, irreparable harm? And let's look at, of course, Lindsay Halligan. There's so much to look at. I'm getting over I'm detoxing or getting over a cold, and having a cold or flu is a way of detoxing, because you got fluids coming out of everywhere, and it's sorry to be gross, but hopefully I make it through the video without coughing. I learned how to put myself on pause. Yay. So I went down to the local protests this weekend, my No King's Day protests in my little town. There were about 200 or 300 people. And you know who was there? It was Auntie T and Auntie Faye. Lots of boomers. We have to have a sense of humor because it's all so crazy now. Lots of boomers there. And there were some young people. You know, we know how to protest. We're just getting started, okay? We're just getting started. But you know, I want to tell you before I start with the political. I didn't come on Monday because my voice was gone, because I'm detoxing with a cold. I wanted to I wanted to tell you something funny about bullies. You know, I kind of get the MAGAs on one hand, because I've been fooled by we'll put it this way. Healers usually pick people to be in relationship that need a healing. They find us, we find each other. People who have karma, and I came in this life to clean up my karma. I've had three divorces, and I learned a lot, and I decided, especially the hardest one, I think, for me was the second marriage. The first one, I was just really too young, and I was just trying to help him, and I felt bad for him. I wasn't really in love with him, and it took me about 10 years to get away from him. But he was a very violent person, and that's a whole video or a book about him, and I don't want to get into all that. The second one, I felt, you know, like I couldn't let go of this guy. My family even brought me to therapy. A lot of my girlfriends were like, yeah, what do you see in him? He's not a very good catch, Sybil. And he could do no wrong. So I kind of understand the you know, and I grew up in a home with a narcissistic mother, an alcoholic narcissistic mother. I used to fight with her, and I feel like that was healthy of me to fight back and stand up for myself. Anyway, so I had abandonment issues. I had karmic issues, and I was gonna, you know, love these guys because nobody ever loved them, you know, the whole thing. And people who grow up in healthy, I did a lot of work on relationships. I've helped people. I've had clients long term. I'm a pastoral counselor, a shaman, an energy healer, a medium, and a psychic. Okay. So I've helped people that I've worked with for 15 years stay together in their marriages. If you have a good marriage, you know, and marriage is hard, marriage is work. But what I did is I used these breakups to learn about and develop myself. And what came out of that was my career. That what I'm doing now is I found myself. And so the reason I'm telling you this is because we are now in an abusive relationship with this current regime, with Cankles and the ones behind it. I don't even want to say their names. They're even worse than him, believe it or not. One guy named Russell, last name starting with a V, and then one guy named Steve, last name starting with an M. Those guys are really running the government, but it's an abusive relationship. And Russell even said, Mr. Russell, whatever his name is, even said in a talk a couple years ago, well, he lived for this, and he wants to traumatize and destroy Americans' lives if they're not going to fall in line with a dictatorship. So that's who these people are. So we are being, so there's like George Santos tearing the White House up, taking $250,000, bombing boats. I mean, it's all happening so fast. It's like there's three or five, two guys with full time huge staffs thinking up all this stuff. They just keep boom, boom, boom. Um, and what it's meant to do is to traumatize you to the point where you just become numb or you give up or your health is destroyed. You can't, yeah, how many of us are waking up in the middle of the night thinking about uh, what's happening in this country or this war or people going hungry or people losing, it how are we going to make it. So it is designed for that. And we have to push back. We are becoming strong because of this. It's like that song, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It is. It's like that song, what's that song from the 70s, I think it is. Walk out the door because you're not welcome here anymore. Weren't you that song, that where that woman singing, I used to be a little girl, and I'm not that little scared girl anymore. That's what we're doing here. The Republicans aren't waking up and finding their backbone, but we will benefit. We are growing spiritually, financially. We are going to create a better world because of this. We are becoming stronger, not weaker. And we need to have a sense of humor. So that's why I told you I met Auntie T and Auntie Faye, Auntie T Faye, at the, and actually there was a lady with a sign. I want to give credit where credit's due, who thought that up. I didn't think that up. I just am repeating it because I thought that's so cool. And it reminded me of my second husband. And I was always like, oh, he's leaving me, he's leaving me. And my friends were all, good. Um, my family was worried. And whatever he did, I would just stand by my man because when I make a commitment, I stand by it. And I'm a very loyal and faithful person. And there was the whole story about the past life. I did a past life regression. I went back and saw why I was in this relationship with him and why I couldn't walk away from it because I had made a vow to never leave him. And I meant that. Vows are stronger than agreements. And so I am doing a past life regression class on my website. It's really cool to be able to know how to do that and regress back to a past life. But that's on my website. Let me go on with the story. So one day, I finally just I had enough, and I was saying that Martin Luther King saying, "We break up," and I'd be, thank God Almighty, free. I'm free at last, free at last. I'm free. And I'd sing the B.B. King song, "The Thrill Is Gone." I'd do all that. Then he'd come back. They always have a way of getting back in the door, saying, I'm sorry, give me one more chance and all this. And it was all lies. I finally wised up to him one day, and he came in the door, and I just was like, that song Freebird? That song, um, cause I'm as free as I can't sing now, my voice is all messed up. As a bird now, and this bird you cannot change. Because I was always trying to, so that was my part. I'd find the wrong, I'd find people, and then I wouldn't walk away. My loyalty and my commitment would, because I believe when you make a commitment in front of God and everybody, that's not just on sunny days. You don't just walk away, and that's part of who I am. But I feel like that it's, you know, that was I used that almost used against me because anybody who had grown up in a healthy family like I didn't would have left long time ago. There I was, holding down the fort and praying for them and going to therapy and doing So one day, anyway, excuse me, he walks in the door and I start singing Freebird, and he was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was finally done, and it was really funny. And for the first time, I could see the fear in his eyes, like, because he was just, with these guys, it's all about control. Control. I keep saying that. That's what this guy's about. It's about power and control. Can they have power over you? It's not just they got more money. These cankles and these guys, they have more money they could use in 10 lifetimes. It's not the money. It's the power that it represents. They enjoy inflicting misery. And when they can't have you anymore, let me put on hold. How do I pause this? Hold on. Sorry. Let me drink some tea. I think I know how to put Zoom on pause. I don't know how to pause this. Anyway, I think you get what I'm saying. You got to stand up to these guys. We're going to be stronger. We're going to. When I divorced this last guy, I was like, the last one, yeah, yeah. That I'm just being real with you. Um, and anyway, I walked up on a hill, and my guide said, "You're married to us," and I was like, "Okay, I could do that." And I'm okay with that now. I don't need somebody to. In this life, my soulmate, my twin soul, is not here, and I'm okay. I came to strengthen myself and to do this work, and that's where we're gonna get. So yeah, when I walked away, I thought, I can become bitter. It doesn't mean we don't get angry, but we don't want to become bitter. We don't want to become a monster chasing a monster. It's easy to do, to get down on their level, but we need to do it one up them. Like sing the song Freebird. And I meant it. I was done. And that's what Gavin Newsom's doing now, by the way. Guess who called the National Guard to California? Gavin Newsom. Love it. I'm really liking him more and more. Um, he called them to California for food banks to distribute food to people who are in the shutdown. Okay, that's what we need, not people trying to lock up, hardworking people who are trying to feed their family and terrorizing people. It's a damn shame. And we can be angry, but don't get bitter. Don't let them Don't let them crush you. Don't let them take your joy. We need to have a sense of humor. We need to be like the Ukrainians. They're fighting in a war and they are cooking food and falling in love and teaching their children. We need to be like them. We need to be strong and resilient, and I know that we are. Okay. Now let's look at, sorry. Okay. Let's look. Supreme Court. Okay, so they ruled that the appellate court ruled. I don't think it's the same for Chicago. It's the same for Oregon and California. Um, Interesting. Anyway, they said that, we'll do one at a time. Portland, they said, yeah, he has the power to deploy military for 30 days or 60 days. Is it 30 or 60? I don't have my phone now. Oh, okay. For an amount of time that the president should have the ability to do that. Well, that's first court said, no, you can't go to Portland. There's no fires, there's no emergency. You can't send the troops there. That's what they told Cankles. The next they appealed it, and the next 3-panel appeal court, I think it was 2-1, said, yeah, you can do that for a limited amount of time. Okay. But now it's going to get appealed again, another appeal court. So let's look at Portland. Will Cankles be allowed to deploy? What's the ruling going to be with the next appeals court? What's the ruling going to be with the next appeals court of sending, keeping troops in, or I guess he already sent them in? I don't know what the time limits are. Okay, so let me look at it energetically. Oh, I think they're going to rule in favor of the Portland, not Cankles. He's going to lose this. He'll lose the next appeal. Oh, yeah, this is like the frogs dancing, dancing frogs and singing Freebird and Auntie T and Auntie Faye. Oh, yeah, Bondi said, oh, those protesters are anti-American. They're horrible people. I saw American flags. I saw grandmothers and grandfathers and a lot of military in my town. And the pictures I saw, they looked like all kinds of people. They were in red states, they were in blue states. They were, I didn't see a lot of, I even saw, I brought my dog. I did see not a lot of children. I think people might still be a little bit worried. And I was saying, be careful. But, boomers, we know how to protest peacefully. And the George Floyd, it was maybe a younger crowd. And I don't feel like they were, for some reason, they were more energized, but I don't feel like they were, being as peaceful maybe as they could have been. And I understand why. They're angry and they're young and they're going to show that. But we're just getting started, okay? And if you were young and you were out there, thank you. Thank you. And even my Republican neighbors, they were like, they saw me with this big American flag. They're like, you're going to the No King's Day? I'm like, oh, because they don't follow politics. They're just, vote yes on 50 if you're in California. Yes on 50. You only got a few till November 4th. And my ballot didn't come in the mail. I'm suspicious. I'm going to go down to the courthouse on Friday because my ballot didn't come. It always comes. In California here, we can vote by mail because we know how to do it here. Okay. Yeah, so let's look at, okay. The East Wing. Tearing up the East Wing after he said, oh, we're just going to build it on the, we're not going to destroy anything of the White House. So this is a whole energy thing. So what very wealthy people know in secret societies, they know about symbolism, ceremony. They also know about psychics and astrology, but they do use it on the dark side. And then they try to make it sound like, oh no, we just go to church and no one should do that. Because that's where our power is. A lot of countries around the world, leaders use astrologers. They have, kings have, queens have, they still do now use psychic. Even the CIA was using psychics. I mean, so, but they try to make it seem like, oh no, you shouldn't do that because they don't want you to know your power. I'm going to do a video on probably coming out tomorrow or next week about the 9 million women burned as witches when um, the certain governments or groups tried to destroy uh, people's power by taking away their gifts. You know, there were herbalists or anybody who was different or wasn't going to church enough or something. And I'm not against all churches. Just I the the witch, the Inquisitions shaped and formed our society in ways that are still affecting us to get us to be normal or get us to go in line. And don't be different. We still have that. Everyone has to have a certain look and a certain label and act acceptable and have and I believe people should be kind and polite because it's respectful, not because they're afraid somehow they won't fit in or they won't look normal. Everyone has to have their hair like this or dress like that or have a white picket fence so the Inquisition greatly affected us in disempowering us from our God given gifts that we were born with and we have had for millennia. Our intuition, our inner guidance system is everything. And to disempower us so that we need to give our power to whoever is the head of whatever, particularly, sorry to say this, a man, whatever man is in control. Okay. So, and I'm not I love men. But I don't like anybody. A lot of women have male controlling abusive energy. And so I'm not against, don't think I'm against men, okay? Nothing about against men. It is about being controlled and owned and um, being a subject, of a dictator or a king, okay? Or whoever is in control of you. Okay. So the East Wing is, they know about the that place was built, well, it was built by slaves, which is a damn shame. There's history in those walls. When you take down the walls, you're destroying history. Maybe some of that needs to be destroyed, but it isn't up to him to decide that. It is the people's house. That's one, okay? So it's just another way to traumatize you that what are the 10 biggest things in life that affect us? Death, moving, loss of job, illness, divorce, or 5 things. Okay, so this is like a moving because they are destroying the very foundation in feng shui. They are attempting. He is attempting to own that for himself, and it's not his to do that with. This should have gone before Congress with petitions, and we want to build this, and this is why, and have people you know, vote on it, at least in Congress. If not, I know that takes a while, but there's a reason things take a while in democracy because you can't just go around destroying things. So, already destroyed the Rose Garden. Well, that upset people. What else can we do? Because remember, it's all about control, power and their control. We control this. We own you. We own this. We own the country. We own the world. That's the tariffs. Oh, that is coming up. We should look at that. Let me write that down. We should look at the tariffs if my voice will hold up. We should look at the tariffs because that's going up for court in November. All right. I thought they already ruled on it, but apparently I was reading, I don't think it's going to hold up, the tariffs, but okay. Will they follow the court order? That's the issue. Okay, let's go back to the East Wing. So they're attempting, that's what he's attempting to do, to take the house away from the people and to own it. That's what, and to upset you. It's also a distraction from the Epstein files and the other horrible things they're doing because he thinks he can. There's going to be so many lawsuits when they are out. Oh, speaking of lawsuits, how's this? Let's look at this. I heard this on Glenn Kirshner's show. I actually like him. He's really cool. Not somebody I would normally thought that I would watch, but I really like him. I guess he's a prosecutor, maybe a lawyer. He has a show. Anyway, he was saying something about, what about a class action lawsuit? He would do it. Oh, he's not a lawyer. He's not that type of a lawyer. So a class action lawsuit for the people of America versus this regime for taking away education, destroying the environment, taking away jobs, hurting veterans, shutting down the government. It was shown that's a big thing to impeach. There is a video, and I believe it was played on Morning Joe the other morning, saying that, and the White House didn't deny, they didn't say it was AI, that it has Kankles in the Oval Office saying that he wants to do the shutdown because they can destroy a lot of Democrats' lives. Okay? That is obstruction of justice. You are not supposed to be in there to destroy people's lives. And he actually admitted it. We all know that that's what he's doing, but he actually admitted it. So that could be that is an impeachable offense. I do believe he's going to be impeached. I believe we're going to win by the skin of our teeth, the House and the Senate, and he is going to be impeached. But okay, so I mean, logically, with what they're doing, the thing they're going to try to do is cheat in the election. That's what we have to be careful of, and not certify people. So it's going to be, even after the election, there's going to be legal battles and all kind of tomfoolery, what you call it. But we want, and they can't. We want. We're going to win. Okay, we have to keep fighting. But I think I see us winning. So do most psychics I talk to, or I listen to their channels. So I think that would be a great lawsuit against people of the United States versus Kankles and take all his money. Because look what he's done to us with healthcare and everything else. And they did it on purpose. He's doing the shutdown. To him, he would never end the shutdown. What was Doge about? Destroying, everything he's been doing is destroying and taking away the government. So why? So he can be in control and take power. That's why. Because that's the only thing he cares about. Okay? So let's ask, is that case going to happen? People of America versus Kankles and his regime? Because I see like they're all going to go to jail. Bondi, Noam, Cash Patel, I don't even think he'll last that long because he's just so inept and out to lunch. Bondi's dangerous. She's intelligent, and she knows, she has training for what she's doing. Christy Noam, I think she's on drugs. Look at how skinny she is. There's something really wrong. Like power. She's obviously power drunk. Very cruel. I mean, who shoots dogs? You know. Um, if the dog's misbehaving, you take it to a trainer, or maybe you give it away because you can't manage it. You don't shoot it. Are you mentally deranged? Yes. I mean, that's a derangement. Uh, yeah, I mean, I could see if the dog was like, killed a person or was wounding people or something. I was just misbehaving. No, that's what puppies do. Puppies don't behave. They have to be trained. And some puppies are hard. Some puppies need to be out, you know, somewhere where they can just run around because they're just not a working or a trained dog. Okay, so let's look at, will there be a class action suit against Cankles? Oh, we have to look and see. Oh, yeah, we got to look and see if he can take, if he's already taken that 230 million. I don't think so. All right, show me, guys. Let me look energetically. There's so many lawsuits. Like, get in line. I feel like they're going to do it. I feel like there's a woman with her partners. I feel like we do it. Okay, first let's see if we do it, and then let's see if we win. Yeah, because all the secrets, there's more that we don't know. Okay? Maybe I know, or you know because you've been watching the show. But there's other stuff that I haven't reported on that most people, also people who just watch the regular news or don't watch anything, they don't know what's going on. Yeah, there's the woman. There's somebody coming forward. I feel like she has brown hair, medium height, probably middle age, with some younger partners, a man and a younger woman with her. She's got partners. Because you're going to need them, because look at all the plaintiffs. I don't even know how we can fit in the courthouse. It's because he stole their power and the money. Thought he could manipulate us. Gonna come. They're afraid. They're afraid of us because of Auntie T and Auntie Faye. Oh, it's going to take a while. What is this? Is it going to go up for appeals? How many years is this? Because it takes a while. Is this? It takes a while to start. Yeah, I don't feel like it's going to start right away. If they're still around. Yeah, there it is. They're going to put it out there. Why is this? Oh, yeah, this might not even be till the next president gets in. Damn, that's a long time. We got to hang in there. We got to hang tough. I drive around I buy extra groceries and I drive around and hand out food to people. I like that. I'll probably do the Toys for Tots. And I usually do that. But I don't have the donation button on my channel to donate to somebody. But if you have extra, please give to food banks or your local soup kitchen. Yeah, and if you don't have extra, please say prayers for people. Send them good thoughts. Subscribe to their channel. Post on social media. We have to all speak out. The louder we are, you, me, Aunt Tifa, and Aunt Faye. But yeah, I feel like it might take a while. All right, well, that's something to look forward to. Because people are going down. Even the astrology says, I've seen it in my dreams. We're not going to have a perfect world for a long time, We're going to start in making a better world. And the billionaire class is worried, afraid. Now, there's some good ones like, I think Mark Cuban, you could be a billionaire. You could do that. But don't be, like hurting people and doing all this crazy stuff, to make things to help people, give people employment, help the environment. It's possible. And there are people who do that. Um, okay, let's look at did he, well, if we have the class action lawsuit, will we win? Will the Americans get the money? That would be every American getting what? Money? Or states getting money to give to people? Something like that? It could be states suing or withholding federal money or something. So would it win a lawsuit, class action lawsuit against this administration and Cankles? Would it win? It's karma. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And it would set a new, like, you can't do that. Anybody who's thinking in the future about doing something like that, yeah, it would be a new law. There would be new laws put in place. Okay. At least I don't know right away that the new laws would go into place, but it would be known like I'm going to do that to the American people. Is that proper English? Sorry. Okay. Um, let's look at is Kankles gonna give himself? So the thing is here is that he says that it cost him a lot of money with all the lawsuits that were against him, fighting to say that he won and the fighting. He has 34 felony convictions. So if these are things that he did, why we have to pay for what he did? Now, if he won the case, then you could come back and do a civil case and go, okay, I was falsely accused, I won the case, but these cases were squashed or just went away. So how can you claim that you're owed money when it isn't even determined whether, in one case, it is determined he is a felon, and the other ones are, and he owes money to E. Jean Carroll. Okay, so he was guilty with that one. So how is that even possible? So this isn't actually a case. But what he's saying is that um, I had spent all this money defending myself, and what he says were, you know, political persecutions against him are very unfair, and that he should be paid back. But if you didn't even win the case yet, so the documents case, and the Mueller report, it was kind of mixed in how it came out. So how did he pay for that? I don't think he paid for that. But, you know, the January 6th case, so those guys were convicted of crimes and they said they went there for him. So we should be suing because those cases weren't ever put through. Then maybe if you're found innocent, then you could go back and say, and now I'm owed money and do a civil lawsuit. But he just thinks he's not asking for a lawsuit to sue, but demanding money, or I will do a lawsuit because I had to defend myself for all these fraudulent charges. But who's to say they were fraudulent? So the whole thing is just another thing to traumatize people, to scam and get money, and to destroy America, charge the taxpayers $250 million almost. And so yes, because he wants $230 million for all his pain and suffering and legal fees. Really? Well, first let's ask, did he already take that? I don't think so. He's thinking about it. He's like, I could just decide the case because they have to do what I say. The DOJ decides to give him the check or not, or go to court. Because he tells the DOJ what to do, he's saying basically, I'm deciding my own case, which is also illegally because you're not supposed to be telling the DOJ. I don't think it's illegal, but it should be. You can't tell the DOJ. Oh, all those cases where he out loud said to prosecute my enemies, a lot of those cases are going to be thrown out. And the only one, John Bolton, I don't know if they have something, but all those other cases, Comey's going to walk. Let's look at that Lindsay Halligan. She's probably going to be thrown out. See, they're probably going to say she was illegally installed. Okay, so let's go back to where were we? Oh, so is he going to demand that? Probably, because he's doing anything that's illegal to traumatize people, to destroy America. He's probably going to do it. So is Kankles going to get the $230 million from the Justice Department? Now, he says he's going to give it to charity. I don't believe him. Look at all the charities. He can't even have a charity anymore because he steals from it. When did he give anything to anybody? So, yeah. Is the Justice Department going to give him a check for $230 million? They're looking at it. Let me look at him. I think it would be Todd Blanche. Oh, he's happy to do it. He's happy to do it. They definitely want to say this to upset people. Looks like they're going to try it. Will that be overruled in a court? Will they get sued if they do that? Will the DOJ and Kankles be sued if they try to take money for him? Yeah, look at the lawsuits. If the people, yep, they're going to get sued. Will we get our money back? Will the American people get this money back from him if he takes it? Looks like they're going to try to do it. You cannot make this stuff up. The American people going to get their money back? Looks like it. Let's see. Oh, it's a fight. This is a fight. Yep. We'll take back our power. Because we aren't playing. Yep. Oh, they're going to pay. First, when you, what is tangled web we weave? Yeah. All right, let's look at Lindsay Halligan. Will she be, what do you call it? Kicked off her appointment or whatever. She was illegally installed. Will Lindsay Halligan stay in her role that she was appointed as a prosecutor for the government? There she is. Yeah, they're going to find a way to keep her in there. I don't think, is she going to win the case? I think it's against Comey. Is she? Like, I see Comey walks. Is Comey going to sue for what they did to him? Let's ask. Is Comey going to sue back? He wants his money back. What it cost him. Kind of like what comes around goes around. Now it's your turn. Yeah, I feel like he does turn around and with a lawsuit. Um, and even though, Comey's not our favorite person to a lot of Democrats, um, he did stand up. And I feel like we need everybody in our camp now. So if you realize you made a mistake and now you don't support Kankles, I feel like we need to welcome you back because we need all the votes we can get here, okay? And, people make mistakes. But if they're, apologetic and trying to do the right thing now, it doesn't mean you need to vote for them or something. But I feel it's kind of in my spiritual training that that's the right thing to do. You know, same with the MAGAs when they realize, guess we shouldn't have voted for that guy. Yeah, I kind of was telling you that. I don't want to throw it in their face, but like, okay, welcome to the winning side. Yeah. But, I was at this AA meeting once with my mother, and we put her through treatment and everything, and we took her to a meeting, and I was waiting there for her, and she showed up, and she showed up drunk. And it was a big meeting where you got a chip for like, they give you, and you get up in front of this whole big, you walk down the aisle and people give you roses and there's a stage and there's like hundreds of people there. And it was like a once a month meeting and you walk down the aisle and, you get up and get your chip and you say something. Well, my mother showed up drunk to get her chip for 30 days. And she showed up drunk with a big bouquet of roses and vodka breath. And she was like, thank you, and handing out roses to people. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this is happening. And I said to this lady who looked, she was part of the group and I'd seen her there before. And I was like, my God, my mother showed up drunk to get her chip. What do I do? She said, honey, you tell her to keep coming back. Because that's the way we have to be when people make a mistake. She was there. She couldn't do it. She couldn't find it within herself. Eventually, the alcohol killed her. But that's how we do when people show up. All right. I hope that made sense. I know I get emotional, but we've all made mistakes. Let the first one, I don't mean to sound religious because I'm not. Let the first one who hasn't made a mistake cast the first stone. So, okay. Um, and the hope was that she would feel welcome and come back again, but that didn't happen in that case. But that doesn't mean you give up on somebody. Okay, so I want to look at the shutdown. Speaking of giving up on, I seriously, I asked my guides, and their time frames I'm not good with. And it really bothers me if I give you an incorrect reading. And You'd have to wonder who I am if I was always right. You'd have to wonder. So even the best psychics, maybe 90% right at all times. It's hard to do. You got all this stuff happening and it's changing at every moment. But okay, we're looking at the energy. Um, but I thought, 2.5 weeks, and that under certain conditions could have happened. Excuse me. But obviously not now. Um, I'm looking now. Excuse me. At November. Sorry, in November. As far as I know, Kankles would like it to be closed forever because that's what he wants to do, destroy it. Never open. Could he do that? I don't think so. I don't know how he gets stopped, but I don't see him making a goodwill gesture to open the government for any, for, I mean, I just don't see it. And I don't want to scare people, but that's kind of where we are right now. I'm looking at somewhere in November. Let's look at opening. Will the government be open in November? One would think because the holidays, at least. Will the government be open in November? Let me look at Mike. Mike Johnson, he's always, oh, I don't know. I didn't hear that. I don't know anything about it. Isn't that your job? How do you not know anything about anything when because you're taking vacations and keeping the Epstein files undercover? He's part of the cover up. He looks like a little Keebler elf, but he is. So, oh my God, such a little, oh, don't even let me say it. Okay. But half the time when they ask him something, he's like, I don't know, I never heard anything about it. How does that, then you should be fired because you don't know anything about your job. How is that even an answer? I don't know. I didn't hear it. I heard more than he has. Okay. So, let me look at you. He wants to do a deal with I'm showing he has the paperwork. He wants to do a deal, a bipartisan deal, and give the Democrats something because he's feeling the pressure. He wants it to open. Are you going to do a deal? Kankles has to sign off on it. So really what we're asking, I mean, because Mike Johnson he's not a powerhouse of strength here. He's fallen apart. He's super stressed. And remember what happens to every Republican speaker gets destroyed. It's part of the deal. You have to know that when you're getting in there that they're going to destroy you. Look at John Boehner and the other ones. Well, maybe you can go into a life of private life. I think John Boehner started selling pot, and the other, what was it, the weightlifting guy went on Fox News or something. So, but no more politics for you. Okay, so you had to know when you're getting in there. I'm like, come on, look at the track record here. Um, so he wants to make, is Kankles going to sign? There he is. I see him signing something. I mean, he did do a temporary broke ceasefire, not a peace deal. There's no peace in the Middle East. There's been like 46 cases already where Israel has shot and killed Palestinians since the ceasefire. He did get the hostages home, okay. The ones who are alive still, okay, he did that. And there's food getting in there, some anyway. But they're still killing. There's no ceasefire. That didn't happen. All right, so I see it. I see him. There's Cankles with the paper. He signed it. Unbelievable. He's going to have to get something. They're going to have something against him. The Democrats are going to threaten something against him. Because I see they're like threatening him with something. We'll do this. We'll do something. And good on Gavin Newsom. Sent the troops in to feed people. That's about right, in a shutdown. You don't try to terrorize people. You go and feed them. Thank you. A human being. What am I reading on? Sorry. Uh, that's okay. Be angry. You could be angry. Just don't become bitter. Whatever gets you through. Anger, humor, cry, scream, kick on the floor. But then get up and get on with your life and don't let them steal your joy. Okay. Is Kankles gonna make a deal? Oh, I see him with his slimy little face there and icky. Yeah, because he's hiding stuff and they're gonna come at him with something. It's gonna be a crappy deal, but he's gonna do something. Okay? We gotta fight. We gotta fight. We're fighting. He's gonna do something. That'd be a small yes. Unbelievable. All right. Hey, thank you for watching to the end of the video. I really appreciate you. Please like and subscribe. And if you know how to hype a video, I would really appreciate that. Hype my video. I don't know how to do that, but it's a thing you can do. And so I'm going to be on with members. If you want to join members, I'm going to be answering questions and doing guided meditation, guided healing with the group every second and fourth Saturday at 12 o'clock Pacific time. So click the join button. Check out my classes. We're doing past life regression. And then in December, I'm doing manifesting with the angels. That's a really fun class to open up your psychic abilities, to work more with angels and ascended masters. And it's really cool, really fun class. And I am booking, if you want a Christmas reading or reading for the new year, or you want to get somebody a gift, I am booking for December, maybe late January. Sorry. There might be something in late November. We'll see. Especially if somebody gets a package, if you buy a mentoring or healing package. All right. Thanks a lot. Sending you so much love. Bye for now.